guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to start off this video by saying thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. My mind is blown. Literally, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy and so grateful. Thank you so much for 100K. If you haven't already, check out the short I made where it was like me actually hitting it. But basically today's video is going to be my advice for incoming freshmen, or basically just my advice for like high schoolers. As a rising sophomore or an incoming sophomore, I think it's appropriate to make this video now because I don't want to delay until senior year and like possibly forget about something. But this video is highly requested. So as many of you know, as a celebration of hitting 100,000 subscribers, I am launching merch. It's what I've been working on basically every day this summer, and it's a big part of why I haven't posted or filmed a long form video in a while. But just know, merch is in the works. I'm waiting on some samples to come in and waiting on some legal things, but I will be able to tell you guys so much more so soon about merch. Okay, so like I said, this video is highly requested. So section 1 is going to be called School and Academics. So I want to talk about getting used to the building and finding your classes. First day of freshman year. First of all, that video is almost at 1 million views. Again, so grateful. In my first day of freshman year, I was like so scared to admit that I didn't know where I was going. Like, you can see the school resource officer, he goes, "You know where you're going?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't know where I was going. Yeah. The officer just asked if I knew where I was going. I don't know where I'm going. So I would definitely say don't be afraid to like ask for directions, especially on the first day, because it's honestly not embarrassing. Like, the teachers are already prepared to help the freshmen out. I mean, it's their job and they get paid for it, so you might as well ask, you know? As for finding your classes, make sure that you have your schedule ready, because you do not want to be the person who's like, the bell's about to ring in 5 minutes and you're like, crap, I forgot the number and I can't pull up my schedule. So I recommend pulling your actual schedule up, but also taking a screenshot of it and saving it to your camera roll. What to bring in your backpack for freshman year. Normally it's going to be notebooks, folders, pencils of course, highlighters, markers maybe. Check your school's required list for school supplies. And if you're someone who like kind of dreads school, I would definitely recommend going back to school shopping or like school supply shopping, because if I didn't have those highlighter midliners, I probably would not have survived freshman year assignments, because it's like so tedious. Having school supplies that you like is going to be really helpful, like especially for the mindset part of things. The next topic is how to stay on top of homework without burning out. So because you're in high school now, the year is divided into 2 semesters. During semester 1, it's fun, it's easy, it's not like stressful, it's, you know, light work. Whenever semester 2 comes around is when it gets a little stressful and just a lot. By second semester, I was like, I'm ready for summer, I'm ready to graduate. We used to like complain about middle school work. Honey, wait till you get to high school. So my top 3 tips to avoid burnout is to get a tutor or like go to tutorials, to make time for yourself outside of school, to like take breaks. Breaks are very important. And number 3 is asking for help. I've seen students go to tutorials and literally like just pretend they understand what the teacher is talking about, and then they go and fail the test just because they were too afraid to ask a question. I didn't start asking questions until this past year, freshman year. I didn't want my teachers to be disappointed in me, like the fact that I didn't know,
especially in math class.
This is going to be one of the most important like developmental years, like gain that confidence just to ask a question. And a bonus tip for staying on top of your work is to use a planner. Okay, let's talk about honors versus AP classes and should you take them. So chances are, if you're watching this when I upload it, it's already August and like your schedule's already been selected. You need to ask yourself and be very honest with yourself before the year begins what you think you're capable of, and not just how smart you think you are. Do you think you can handle the workload of taking an AP or an honors class on top of everything else you're doing? For example, if you're someone who does a lot of extracurriculars and you're trying to take an AP class on top of that, or multiple APs. Personally, I only took 1 honors class last year because I knew that I would burn out on top of like working on YouTube. Now I know that I'm fully capable of taking AP classes, easy. But I know that like some of you watching, your parents may like, not to say force you, but like highly encourage you to take AP classes. So if you're in that situation, I would just say try your best to, you know, take breaks, take care of your mental health first. You know, it's going to be really stressful because this is almost like experiencing 6th grade for the first time. It's a new environment. High school's fun though, so you don't stress too much. You are going to have to be a little bit more responsible this year and kind of grow up. But I mean, if it gets to a point where you're really struggling, you can always talk to your school counselor. How to stay organized. Whoo-wee, let's talk about this. Okay, so this is something I'm still struggling with too, but I will give you my best advice. I could honestly make an entire video on how to stay organized just because I feel like I've changed a lot this summer, like mindset-wise, and I've just become a lot more disciplined. This isn't necessarily related to school specifically. This is kind of just like how to stay organized in life. Basically right now I'm balancing YouTube long-form videos, shorts, merch, brand deals, all this stuff. So it's kind of like, dang girl, how do you manage all that? And it's by following a standard operating procedure. Okay, so I didn't know what that meant a couple months ago, so I'm gonna teach it to you. It's kind of hard to explain, so I wrote it down. A standard operating procedure, or an SOP, is basically just like a weekly routine or checklist you follow to keep your life together. Let's say you put a thought in your head. Why does it? Okay, I'm not doing like that. You had a thought in your head and you were like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I remember this, and then you forget later. So in simpler terms, it's basically just like a planner. Mondays, Wednesdays are dedicated to practice. I try not to work on choir things to the same night just so I don't get burned out. You still have to go to school the next day. Your teachers expect you to perform at your best when it comes to assignments. Use those couple hours that you have after practice or extracurriculars to actually take time for yourself. Just a reflection of your day and like what you're proud of yourself for is really healthy for you. On to section 2 of the video. This section is mindset and confidence. This is like always my favorite part of advice videos to film. It's basically everybody's nervous. Nobody knows what they're doing. This is literally everyone's first time experiencing freshman year. You may see people who seem like they have it all together, they have it all figured out, but honey, everyone's on the same level. You don't need to try and compare yourself to other people and like end up feeling worse about yourself. Dang, this person has their life together and I'm over here trying to figure out what class I'm going to. The only person that you need to try and be is the person you were yesterday. Something that I had during freshman year that really helped me get through it was the motivation app. I'm pretty sure the app is literally just called Motivation. I'll put it on the screen. I get like motivational quotes throughout the day. I also have this as my lock screen. It says, act like the person you want to become. So you really just have to like reassess and just like think about your future self. How are they going to react to all of this homework? They're going to persevere past it. Do it for your future self. Another important topic is you don't have to reinvent yourself. You don't need to feel like you have to glow up for school a week before and be like, I am the same person I was the last day of 8th grade. You don't need to put yourself in a position where you feel like you need to change yourself, especially like all of a sudden, but it is okay to grow because you're going to be meeting new people. If you find like that there's this whole friend group and you're like, dang, I really want to be a part of it, don't feel like you need to change yourself. You don't need to start dressing like they do or acting like them. Just be authentically you. Comparison will kill your vibe. Stay in your own lane. This is something that I struggle with, is being proud of myself. It's like, it's hard for me to actually realize how much I'm doing. Sometimes I'm just go, like on to the next thing. We got to get better. We got to improve. And then I feel like I'm not doing enough, which is like totally not the truth and it's not reality. You are doing enough. You are putting your best foot forward. This is silly, but even just small rewards like buying myself a boba or like a drink is like a nice reward, and it's kind of like, you got this, just keep pushing through. And this is going to be a really great way to build your confidence. If you can spend time with yourself and like being proud of yourself, then you're gonna build up that self-love. I can confidently say that this is one of the most important lessons or things that I've experienced that I still carry with me to this day, and that is being comfortable with being alone. Sometimes it's easy to just want to like stick with your friends, even just going to the bathroom. You're like, hey, can you come to the bathroom with me? But let's say like you want to go to the gym after school and then your friend's like, no, sorry, I can't make it, so you just end up not going. I have a challenge for you. Take this year, do something that makes you scared. Even if that means on the first day of school, sitting at a lunch table with people you don't know. Recognize that you're taking a big step just by like putting yourself out there and like sitting with people you've never talked to before. I only had Allison with me at the table, and like everyone else, they were kind of like their own friend group. So it was like scary. I put myself out there and it ended up like helping me in the long run, especially with confidence. So grow comfortable with being alone. We are going to talk about how to make friends without forcing it. Making friends does not come easily to everyone, and that's something I'm aware of. Everyone has their different stories. Everyone has different personalities. It can be really scary, you know, to put yourself out there, and that all comes down to like, oh, I care what they think of me. I do have tips for making friends. I actually have multiple videos where I go in depth on how to make friends. So especially this video where I give you actual examples of how to make friends, I go super in depth. Is be confident in yourself, introduce yourself, be prepared to ask them a question, you know, so there's not awkward silence or anything. If you're like, oh, what class do you have after this? Or have a compliment prepared. Questions and compliments, even if like, look it up on Google, questions to ask to make a friend. Like, it does not matter. Just put yourself out there, because guys, literally we live on a floating rock. You only live once. If someone someone doesn't match your vibe, they're not meant for you anyway, okay? Like, literally get that in your head. Ask yourself, do you want to be friends with them? Flip the narrative. It's not always about, oh, I hope they like me. Honey, do you like them? Like, don't force yourself into a friendship that's not even good for you anyway, okay? You don't have to limit yourself to only having 3 friends. Like, let's say you have your best friend in 3rd period, but you don't have a friend in 2nd and 4th. Don't limit yourself and be like, well, I don't know anyone in my 2nd and 4th period, so I'll just like be alone in this class. First semester, I had an AV tech class. I didn't know anybody in that class. And then I met this girl, super nice, and we kind of became friends. The class ended up being a lot better because I had someone to talk to and like relate to about the class. Okay, how to tell if someone's a real one or if they're fake. If they only ever talk to you when they need something, that's a good red flag that you should probably end the friendship, or you shouldn't begin it if you're like, oh, are they a good friend? If they gossip, oh my gosh, there's so much dust or something. Because first of all, you're gonna attract drama. If you have a fake friend, then like drama will just always come. If they seem jealous, if they bring you down, it pays to wait for people who are right for you. Don't be friends with someone just because you have nobody else to be friends with. My biggest tip would just be to slowly distance yourself. If that means becoming more dry in text, not hanging out as often, try to avoid getting into a huge argument or something like that. That's when you can get stuck in drama and just stuff like that. It's not gonna benefit you at all hanging with people just because of their social status. Section 4, fashion and fitting in. When it comes down to it, wear what you feel most confident in. Oh my gosh, such an important topic. I know it's common among us curly haired people to want to straighten our hair to fit in, because literally sometimes I'm like, dang, like I'm like the only one in the room who has curly hair right now. Like, literally just learn to embrace it and accept it. How do you think God feels about you straightening your naturally curly hair? Like, he made you to have curly hair. Ultimately, high school is definitely a good time to just learn how to be your best self. Take freshman year as a year to truly just find yourself. And this will lead into the next topic, but a big reason on why I haven't dated anyone yet is because I wanted to make sure that I find myself first. How are you gonna be there for someone else if you're not even there for yourself yet? So that's the next topic. But ultimately, you don't need to buy a whole new wardrobe just to feel cute. If you feel like wearing a hoodie and sweatpants one day, wear it. The first kind of big announcement for merch is that I'm dropping hoodie and sweatpants, so stay tuned. Get your back to school cards ready because it's gonna be fire. That is going to be the first hint I give you for merch. I'm also dropping other things, but I'm gonna be quiet about that for now. Topic 5, relationships. Freshman year was interesting. I can genuinely say I didn't even have a crush freshman year. There are so many people who I found cute, but they'll never know. I can't be getting into all these talking stages. Honestly, I just don't have time for that. Don't base your worth on who likes you, especially if you get rejected or something. This all circles back to what other people think of you does not matter. Please listen to that and truly, genuinely believe it, because it is literally truth at its finest. Whether it's a friend, whether it's a guy or a girl, do not base your worth on whether or not somebody likes you. If they don't like you, they are not meant for you. Let me repeat that. If they do not like you, they are not meant for you. And people who are not meant for you, you don't need to be around and you don't need to obsess over. That's really it. If they're not meant for you, don't waste your time on them. Just focus on yourself and love will come naturally. Having someone there to support you and love you and just like have good and fun times with is a great thing. Like, I wouldn't mind having a relationship right now. You know, like whatever's meant for me will simply come to me. Also, you need to be smart with your heart and your reputation. Make sure that you're not jumping into a relationship just because you long for having matching PJs or having a date to the football game. Like, don't throw yourself into a relationship like where you don't actually like someone. Let's say like a guy comes up to you or a girl, hey, I think you're cute. You start texting, whatever, and then like you date. But like you're not really happy in the relationship and you're kind of like, I'd rather be single right now. Don't put yourself in that situation. I tell you guys like how to reject people kindly, you know, because people's emotions matter. If someone like shoots their shot, don't be like, nope, you ugly. Don't do that. My go-to response is, sorry, I have a boyfriend. If you say like, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, sometimes they can try and like wiggle their way in. But if you say you have a boyfriend, they're normally like, oh shoot, I'm sorry. And then like, you can just go on with your life. So just like, do that. But if an Italian guy comes up to me, things might be different. Make sure you're friendly to everyone and you're welcoming to new friendships, new people. Let's talk about what actually matters freshman year and what doesn't. I promise you, it's going to be hard at times, but you can get through it. Grades actually matter, especially if you're in a sport, because if you are failing a class, then you might not be able to play in that sport. But at the same time, if you are failing a class, don't beat yourself up about it. Just like get the help that you need to be able to pass it by attending tutorials, talking to your school counselor if it gets bad. Okay, and to end off today's advice video, I'm going to leave a little message to my younger self. Stop being so shy. Gosh, I know I seem like really bubbly in the vlogs, you guys, but I'm actually an introvert and an extrovert. Don't be afraid to talk to new people. It's all a part of the experience and it will help you grow. Make sure that you have your priorities straight. Stop watching Netflix so much and actually do your math homework because you actually need to learn algebra. I'm proud of you for asking your teachers for help this year, and you've got this. Remember, at the end of the day, what matters is prioritizing family and things that you truly love and enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope that my tips help you and that you're not so scared for freshman year. Adding to my message, don't be so afraid of the upperclassmen. Now I'm like, they're fine. They're just normal kids trying to get through life like we are. If you guys want to see more advice videos and just like content like this, make sure you comment the white heart emoji and stay tuned for more long form videos. I know I took like a month-long break during the summer just to take time for myself, but honestly, it's because I've been grinding on merch, but I'm making time because I love you guys and I'm trying to post more on shorts. Thank you so much for 100K and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye! I truly am not looking for a relationship or anything. But if an Italian guy comes up to me, things might be different.